In this class, I am going to discuss about command line arguments. In the C programming language, command line arguments provide a mechanism to pass information to the program when it is executed from the command prompt or IDE command line interface. Instead of taking input during the program execution like scanf, you can provide input values directly at the time of running of the program. Okay, for example, look at here, we are passing the parameters to the main function from the command prompt, okay, or IDE command line interface. Generally, while the program is executing, you are going to pass the values. We are going to pass the values by using a scanf. Okay, now, so for example, you are writing a program printf enter values of a and b. Like this, you are writing a program. This will be while the program is executing. This printf statement will be printed as is onto the screen. Enter the value of a and b. Then we are going to take the value of a and b by using the scanf percentage d, percentage d, and ampersand a comma ampersand b. So generally, you are going to give the values to the program by using scanf function and printf function. But in this command line arguments, so we can directly give these parameters or values from the command prompt or IDE command line interface. Okay, so how we are going to provide parameters to the main function externally by using command prompt, we'll see in the program. This feature is especially useful for automating execution of programs with different inputs, writing flexible and reusable programs, handling file operations, and configuration options. We'll see. Every C program start with the main function is a starting point of the execution of the C program. The actual execution of a program begins from the main function. So the main function can accept two arguments. One is argc, second is argv vector. These arguments allow users to pass values from outside the program, that is via the command line into the program at runtime. While the program is executing, we can pass the parameters outside the program, that is from the command line or IDE environment. Okay, let me discuss about what is argc and what is argv. So argc, nothing but argument count, which stores the number of command lines arguments are passed. Argv, argument vector, it is an array of character pointers, each pointing to a string, that is command line argument themselves. In short, argument C tells how many arguments were passed from the outside program into the main program. Argv holds the actual arguments as string. Whatever arguments you are passing, it treats as a string because this is declared as character argv vector. Okay, argument argc nothing but argument count. It stores the total number of arguments passed from the command line. Argv, it is an array of character pointers. So array of characters nothing but string containing all the arguments. Okay, argument 0, argument 1. So argument 0, the name of the program. Argument 1 to, for example, you are giving 5 parameters like hi, how are you. Okay, now, so these are the arguments we are passing from the command line to the main function. So argv vector is there, no? Argv vector, first argv vector 0 is hold the name of the program. By default, the name of the program, so I am writing my program name is command arg.c. So it stores in the argument v of 0, and this high stores in the argument v of 1, and how stores in the argument v of 2, and argument v of 3, and argument v of 4. Okay, so by default, first argument is what? Our program name. Second argument which are passing, second, third argument, fourth argument, fifth argument. So argument C is always greater than 1 because the program name is counted as the first argument. For example, you are passing how are you, for example. Okay, so how many arguments we are passing? 3 arguments, but number of count will give us 4. argc will give us 4 count of the argument. Number of arguments are passed 4 because first argument will give us, it is nothing but program name. So this is argument 0 stores the program name, argument 1 stores the how, argument 2 stores the r, right, argument 3 stores the you. How are you like this? Okay, I will show in the program execution. Okay, command line arguments, also called as parameters, are passed to the main function. They allow the program to receive input from outside instead of hard coding values within the program. Nothing but I'm not going to give any values during the execution by using scanf and printf. So directly I can give from outside, that is command line. Argument v is always null pointer indicating end of the argument list. Argument 0 contains the name of the program or path used to execute the program. argc stands for argument count, the total number of command line arguments. argv stands for argument vector, a one-dimensional array of strings where each string is one of the argument is passed. Okay, so everything I am going to explain very clearly with the help of this program. Every C program, the first instruction is hash include standard input output header file and int main. Okay, na? So our main has 2 arguments. Okay, na? First argument is argument C, argument count. Second argument is what? Character array, nothing but string array. Okay, so this indicates always the array. Okay, so array, what type of array? It is character array. So this points, the star will give us address of the vector. Okay, so one is the 2 parameters, 2 arguments. Our main function has 2 arguments, argument count and argument vector. So it is a character type and it stores the address of the argument vector. So I am initializing I is a variable as an integer, and so that I'm printing printf the number of arguments, nothing but argument C. By default, argument C counts how many number of parameters you are passing to the this current program from the outside, nothing but command line prompt. Okay, then printf argument passed. Okay, so it will give us only, because percentage D, so it will give us only number 4 or 5 or 3. For example, I am passing how are you. Okay, how many arguments are there? 1, 2, 3, and plus 1 is what? Program name. By default, first is what? Argument v of 0 contains program name. So total number of arguments passed from command line prompt to main program 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and by default first argument is what? Program name. And printf argument passed. This statement as it is shown onto the screen while you are executing a program. Okay, now I'm taking a for loop to access strings from the argument vector. Okay, now I equal to 0 because I already declared as an integer, so less than argument count. Okay, now so that maybe you may pass 4, 3 or 5, any number of arguments, and I plus plus. Okay, now so I equal to 0. So let, for example, I am passing arguments are how are you. Okay na? So argument by default, first argument is what? Name of the program. So first, second, three, four. So how many count total argc give us? Count is four. Okay now initially I declared as a zero. So zero is less than four. Okay, it comes into the loop, for loop. Print argument v. So I nothing but first zero, no. So argv of 0 equal to, what is the percentage? Yes, because first argument by default it give us program name, that is nothing but command arg dot exe. Okay now, so this, so that will be printed onto the screen, because by using percentage of argument v of 0 will give us command. First argument is what? Nothing but program name, and it go up after that. From here it go up here, so I will be incremented by 1. Now I value is 1. Now 1 is less than 4, right? 1 is less than 4, it is true. Now again, so it is going to print I value 1, no, I value is 1, so this percentage will give print 1 and argument v of 1. Okay now, because what the argument v of 1 means. So next, how is going to print it onto the screen? Total number of count is 4, but argument we start from 0 address, 1 address, 2 address, 3 address. Okay na? So there is a argument, so it is stores like this. It is nothing but program name, ikkada how and r and u. So argument v of 0, argument v of 1, argument v of 2, argument v of 3. Now 0 nothing but it gives a program name, 1 nothing but how, and so again I will be incremented 2 less than 4 true, coming back here, and arguments 2 equal to, so next one is what? R will be printed onto the screen. Next I will become 3 less than 4 true, and coming back, and argument v of 3 equal to, so u, like so. Finally it will be incremented by 1, 4 less than 4 false, and come out of the loop. This program is going to end. Okay, so this is about command line argument. Now let me execute this program. This is a program for command line argument. Every C program start with #include stdio.h. So it main function contains two parameters, two arguments, argc, which will count the number of arguments passing from command line to the main program, and it will be accept the strings. Okay, so int I, so that I'll discuss. This is an argument count, how many are number of arguments you are passing from outside to the main program. It will be counted, then this will be printed as well onto the screen. Now this program just now I explained. Okay na, 0 1. Let me execute this and see the output. Okay, right. So for example, I am passing hi, how are you. I am passing, so number of argument passed. For example, I am passing hi, how are you. Okay na? So before execution, that how we are going to pass parameter the main function, I will see. Okay, so you go to the execute and go to the parameters and pass the parameters. Okay na? So how are you, I am typing how are you. These are the three parameters I am passing to the main function. So before execution only we have to pass. After that we have to execute the program, compile and run. Okay, now what is here? Okay, number of arguments are passed to 4, because hi, how are you, sorry, how are you, 3 parameters, and first argument g by default is a program name. So AR argument v of 0 gives the program name, argument 1 how, argument 2 r, argument 3 u. Okay now, so this is the output we are it is going to display. So We have to pass the parameters through execute, go to the execute. This is the IDE environment. We can pass parameters from command line prompt or in the IDE. So go to the parameters and I'm passing how are you, okay now. So after passing the parameters only we have to execute, compile and run. Now it will give us same output what you have so far we discussed. Okay, so this is about this one. Suppose if I'm not passing any parameters, okay now it will directly give us only one argument count, because by default argument 0 is what? Program name. Okay, thank you very much, thanks for watching. Sorry, one more talk is anything, we'll go back. Okay, thank you.